Hey everybody, this is Ray with Unicorn Riot. We are in Las Vegas, Nevada at DEFCON 26 and Queercon 15. Speaking with Jason. Jason, can you tell me a little about yourself and Queercon and how you're involved?
Great. Yeah. So Queercon is the LGBT gay hacking group, LGBTQ. We are the diversity wing of DEFCON, so we kind of create a con within a con, creating a space for people to meet, mingle, share stories, make new friends, and enjoy Las Vegas and enjoy DEFCON.
What's your role? How long have you been with Queercon?
So I have been part of Queercon for about 11 years now. I found it just as a random first-timer to DEFCON and found it in the program and said, that sounds like fun. And for the last 5 years, I've actually been president of the organization. We became a nonprofit organization a few years ago and have continued to grow our exposure, our outreach, and what our mission is to promote diversity within the InfoSec community.
What kind of role does Queercon play in DEFCON, or do you know what need it's satisfied by forming?
So, DEFCON has always been a very interesting group of people, and when Queercon got founded 15 years ago, it was a bunch of gay hackers, a couple gay hackers at the time, realizing, hey, I can't be the only person here. How do we let other people know? And so they went to DEFCON and said, we want to try and schedule kind of like a get together somewhere at some time with all gay hackers. And DEFCON was like, we like the idea, but we're a little concerned at how this might play out. So they decided to do a pool mixer and ended up swarming the pool with goons just to provide protection for the gay people that were going to show up because they weren't sure what was going to happen. And that's also where we have such a great relationship with DEFCON, is because we started out of that, and we also have a really good relationship with the goons because they just learned that we just want to have fun. So it's over the 15 years of our relationship, we partner with DEFCON as much as we can to do our pool party, all of our other events, and now we operate almost a full conference within this week as well.
Can you talk a little bit about kind of what activities and other things that go on here at Queercon?
So Queercon, like I said, history is it started as a pool party, and so what we've always tried to do with all of our events is keep it very warm, inviting. Everyone just come, be chill, have a good time. So the party Thursday night is just our kickoff party. It's people coming back for the first time after a year. Everyone's meeting each other. A whole bunch of new people show up, and it's that introduction. But then Friday night is our pool party, and you can walk around and probably ask anybody in DEFCON. It's like, what's the best pool party? And they're going to say Queercon. We do throw a really cool pool party.
Yeah, you do.
So that's we know what we're good at. We're good at a whole bunch of things, but we know what also the community likes, and to get all the gay hackers to the pool and all of our allies out, and we go have unicorn wars in the pool for all night. It's just that's our fun element.
What other kind of elements besides fun then? Do you guys do some educational kind of stuff?
Yeah, so we have, like I said, we have a con within a con. So we have a lot of talks this year talking about diversity, inclusion, social privacy, social media privacy, and all our trend here was to try and create a culture of getting to our allies, getting to our partners with sponsors or just the business community to really show what the LGBT community is within InfoSec.
Can you talk about some kind of successes that you've had along the way? Any surprises or happy outcomes?
Lots of surprises along the way. Normally our surprises are growth. We started, the first year I showed up, it turned out it was 20 people. We sat around a table and we just met each other. Now we're up to 2,000 people that show up for this event. So in year over year, I'm just how do people keep finding out about us? Because we have no expectation of how fast we're growing. Success stories. The only reason I kind of still do this as a volunteer year after year after year is because of all the people that I meet that come up and say, I had the best time. this has been like a new family to me, or, stories where people have just come out to their parents and, they're having a rough time. Now they find people that are in the same, that are like them. And so it just created this culture, and it truly is becoming a family.
Yeah, absolutely. Where do you see yourselves going in the future? Do you have any different goals or anything new coming up?
So our goal is to continue the outreach. And part of that is, we started at DEFCON. We have for a number of years partnered with B-Sides Las Vegas, B-Sides San Francisco, some of the other geographic B-Sides locations. We partner with Black Hat for the first time last year, and we continue that. What we really see our growth is creating that diversity element within the security conferences that happen along all year round. Because every security conference can't provide the resources needed to support the community that's there, so we just want to step in and try and partner with those other conferences to make sure that there's a space for the LGBTQ people.
Can you tell me a little bit about the badges? You sell a certain number and then you give them away after that.
Yep. So our mission is to create a social element within our badges. We have really awesome electronic badges every year that our badge team, George, Evan, and Jonathan come up with. And because we understand, they're not cheap for us to make. So we kind of take a goal of saying half of the badges that we are going to produce, we're going to pre-sell. But when you buy and pre-register for a badge, you're actually buying a badge for somebody else that can't afford it. It's a student, it's their first time. So we always set aside at least 50% of our allotment of badges for people that have never been, can't afford it, just socially. As long as they're engaged with the community, we want to be able to make sure that there's no barrier for them to join us.
How many badges did you produce, or how many did you give away for free this year?
So we produced 450. We had a slight snafu with UPS. They smashed a few of them. So we ended up with less than that, but we only pre-sold 200, and the rest of those were all handed out for free for people that just showed up.
I saw that there were some kind of challenges put out on Twitter to get badges.
Yep.
Kind of what's the impetus behind that?
Again, we don't want to just you come up and say, hey, I want a badge. We want you to actually be engaged and follow us. We want to make sure that you're part of, you're not just that badge collector that's walking around DEFCON with 75 different electronic badges, and now you want one more to complete the collection. So we do a scavenger hunt every year. We send out through our social media, through our own Queercon app, places you have to go, things you have to do, in order to earn one. It's free once you do it, but you have to actually put in the effort. We're not just gonna, give you one. It's always been kind of how do we create an icebreaker? How do we get people to actually go up and talk to somebody? And so we started creating how do we interconnect? How do we, our running joke is how do we create vaginal sex? And we have all these types of puns that we talk about when we're actually going through and doing the design work, but it's what's the icebreaker? What's the element to get somebody that would normally just sit in a corner to actually go out and talk to somebody they would probably never talk to? And so last year we actually created a more community-based. It used to just be one-on-one kind of pairing or talking to one person and engaging with that, and then that would unlock something. But now it's more of a community. Every one of the badges is all working towards a common mission to unlock. This year it's to decrypt a file that will be the final reveal on Sunday at our closing ceremonies.
So you give away certain badges for free when people participate.
Yep.
And then sometimes you need a badge to get into the parties, but sometimes you don't.
So again, we're always wanting to try and be as open and inviting as for people that had never heard about us. They're students, they're driving here and sleeping in their car. I mean, DEFCON is a very unique group. So we try and keep as much as we can open and free to everyone. What we ran into last year with our growth was being in the DEFCON hotel with all the other hotel guests. We do throw really good parties and they're open bars. But when we hit a point last year where we truly recognized that it was just random hotel guests stumbling through being like, hey, there's a party and I just have to walk in. Or my favorite story was last year we had a full mariachi band show up. They had just stumbled across us. Somebody downstairs in the lobby said, hey, there's a party up on this floor, and they just showed up, and I get a call on the radio saying, hey, there's a mariachi band here that wants to come into the party. At that point, we realized we had to create some level of deterrent for that. So this year we decided for the first time ever, we were going to create a non-electronic badge because we can only do so many electronics. And that was going to be a requirement for our evening events where we're giving out free alcohol. Just because we have to control how much, it's expensive to give out a lot of free booze, especially when you're at DEFCON, because we drink like fishes. Our daytime, space is really just creating a comfortable environment where people can come, they can sit in a corner and work on a crypto challenge, or they can feel like they're in a safe place that they, just can hunker down and don't have to be in the big giant convention space with, 30,000 other people wandering around them. So we truly try and provide just that safe lounging area that, anyone can come into and just relax and have breakfast or meet new people. And that's pretty much what we've tried to create.
Is there anything else I might have missed that you wanted to add on?
No, I think, the only thing I will say is, we are a completely volunteer organization. We have a staff of 13 people that spend every waking minute dedicated to making sure that we create these spaces and this environment for this community.
How can you get involved, or how can you donate even if you can't come?
Online, you can find information about volunteering and donating at queercon.org.
Okay, great.